In this video, I want to go over the beginning of section 5.2, which starts on page 133. And what I want to do is just show you how to make these diagrams where we are representing a population. So if we look at this example that we have here, we've got 345 different people work in a factory. Of those people that work there, 130 have been exposed to benzene. Okay, so that's going to be important. And 215 have not. Okay, so the idea for the diagram then is that this column here is the column for people who have been exposed to benzene. So this is the part of our population, the part that's been exposed, which consists of 130 people. Okay, and then right next to it, we have the not exposed part of our population. So that's going to be 215 people. All right, so then of the 130 who have been exposed to benzene, 60 have developed cancer. Okay, so then if we look down here, again in the diagram, we have cancer is represented on the side, so cancer present is in the bottom, these shaded boxes, and cancer absent, not having cancer, is on the top. Okay, so 60 of the people who have been exposed, 60 of those 130 have developed cancer. So that's what we have down here, 60 of 130, and if we do the division there, it's going to be 46%. So of the people in just this column, 46% of them have cancer. All right, now, meanwhile, 35 of those who have not been exposed to benzene have developed cancer. Okay, so that's 35 of this 215, so that's 16% have developed cancer. Okay, and then just what's up here on the top on both sides, if 60 of 130 have cancer, then that means 70 of 130 do not have cancer, so that's going to work out to 54%. And if, what do we have here? What do we say? 35 of 215 have cancer, then 180 of 215 do not have cancer, so that's going to be 84%. So that's how we get these percentages, and it's the percentages we want. So we can compare 46% of the exposed have cancer, while only 16% of the not exposed have cancer. Maybe that tells us something. But we'll worry about that later. Right now, we just want to figure out how to create these diagrams. So next, let's do that, create one ourselves, using this population here. So now, in this population, we have 60 men who have not been vaccinated for something or other, we don't know what, but for all these, we're talking about one vaccination. 90 women have not been vaccinated. 40 of the men in this population have been vaccinated, and 30 of the women in this population have been vaccinated. Okay, so we have this population. We don't know what it's a population of. It's just these 220 people. Okay, so then to create the diagram, we'll draw a box here and split it into two parts. Okay, I'm going to put male and female on the top of the diagram. So we've got gender on the top. Just the description of the population that we have here doesn't tell us how to diagram it. It could be diagrammed either way, but we'll do it this way. And so we'll put vaccinated and not vaccinated on the side. Okay, so the variable here on the side would be vaccination status. I don't really have room to write it, so I'm not going to, but that should be included if we wanted to be complete. Okay, so actually the 220 here isn't that important. What we want to know is the number of men and the number of women. So we've got, let's see, 60 plus 40, so we have 100 men. So we'll make a note of that. That's going to be important. And we've got 90 and 30 women, so that's going to be 120. So we'll make a note of that as well. All right. Now our next step is for each of these two columns, we'll start over here on the left. We want to divide it into the percentage of men who have not been vaccinated and the percentage of men who have. So we have 100 men and 60 of them have not been vaccinated. That's what our top line there tells us. So we'll make a note of that. 60 out of 100 have not been vaccinated. So the percentage then is pretty easy to find. It's just going to be 60%. So we'll draw our line about there. So 60% not vaccinated, and then for the men, 40 out of 100 have been vaccinated. So again, that's pretty straightforward. It's going to be 40%. Okay, so that side is taken care of. Now for the women, we have 90, given our second line up here, 90 women have not been vaccinated, so that's 90 out of 120. All right, so that's going to be, if you divide that out, you'll find that it's 75%. So we'll draw our line about there. And 30 of the women in this population have been vaccinated. So 30 out of 120, that's 25%. You do the division, which you need to do because that's what we want, the percentage, not the raw number. So 25% right there. Okay, so in creating the diagram, you want to make a note of the total number of men, or the total number of whatever you're counting in this column here, and the total number of whomever you're counting in this column on the other side. So we've got those two numbers. Then you're going to use the raw numbers 40, 60, 90, and 30, but what you're ultimately after is the percentage. We want to be able to compare 40 to 25 and 60 to 75, so we need the percentages to do that. Okay,